Hello friends! If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a fan or a subscriber, welcome back, and thank you for the patronage. Today's topic is Pentecostalism in North America. There's not much more I need to say at the moment, except I'm going to try to get Maddie on here. So let's go! When Parham started his short-term Bible school in Houston, Texas, William Seymour, an African-American preacher, was allowed to listen through a half-open doorway. Texas was segregated at the time. Seymour was convinced by Parham's views on the baptism of the Spirit. In 1906, he was invited to pastor an African-American church in LA. His sermon about spirit baptism got him kicked out by the head pastor. She later relented and became a Pentecostal. Members of the church, plus others, started meeting in a private house. Seymour laid his hands on his host, who fell to the floor and started speaking in tongues. Later that night, 7 others had the same experience. More people joined the meeting, and the house soon became too small to house them. The people then rented and moved into an old building on Azusa Street. This was the beginning of the Apostolic Faith Mission. In this building, daily meetings began around 10 a.m. and generally lasted well into the night. These were completely spontaneous, with people singing, being quote-unquote slain in the spirit, and racial integration was common. Seymour's leadership team had both black and white men and women. For the next 3 years, the Azusa Street revival was the center of Pentecostalism. People who were affected by this revival started new Pentecostal churches in the LA area. Visitors, both national and international, went to LA and then back home, where they started Pentecostal centers. Parham came to try to take control because he said it made him feel, quote, disgusted, end quote, that whites and blacks were mingling. It is noteworthy that the Azusa Street Church was predominantly black, both in membership and leadership, because many early manifestations of this movement were found both in African American Christianity and religious movements among slaves, which reflected African religious traditions. Early Pentecostals saw the rest of Christianity as dull and lifeless, and they believed that the Azusa Street revival was the quote-unquote latter rain God had promised in Joel. Racial, doctrinal, and personal issues soon split early Pentecostalism. Some came from churches outside the holiness movement and chose to emphasize progressive sanctification. Another major issue was the teaching of entire sanctification. A Baptist-turned-Pentecostal preacher named William Durham argued that sanctification was received at conversion when one identified with Christ through faith. Until 1910, most Pentecostals held to the 3-stage view put forth by the holiness movement: justification, progressive sanctification, and spirit baptism, but Durham preached a 2-stage model: justification and spirit baptism. This doctrine was the foundation for Assemblies of God, later oneness churches, and several small Pentecostal denominations. Sanctification was only the first issue that split American Pentecostalism. In 1916, a split occurred over the doctrine of the Trinity. Robert McAllister preached that baptism was to be in the name of Jesus Christ rather than the triune God. Ewart formulated the distinctive oneness doctrine on the nature and name of God that accompanied the new baptism practice. He introduced this doctrine in 1914, and it caused a schism in the Assemblies of God. This schism meant that the Assemblies of God lost all of its black membership with the departure of Haywood, the only prominent black leader, and became an all-white denomination. In 1918, a oneness organization joined Haywood's Pentecostal Assemblies of the World, the first oneness denomination, which remained racially integrated until 1924. In this year, the whites withdrew, and Paul decided to adopt an Episcopal government with Haywood as its first presiding bishop. Well, friends, I think that's a good place to stop for today. My Twitter, email, Discord, and PayPal links are in the description, along with the source that I used for this particular episode. Please leave comments in the comment section. I love hearing from you. Please keep in mind that I am also now taking requests. I would like it to be something on religion, but it does not have to be. If I can address it, I will, and if I cannot, I will let you know that. If you like this kind of content, hit the like button, press the subscribe button, and if you would like to be notified when I come out with new content, please hit the bell next to the subscribe button. Question everything and never be afraid. Here are a couple of videos from my library. If you have not seen them, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Until next time, goodbye, friends.